Brian Binley, Member of Parliament for Hunter South, Member of the European Assembly. The demands are quite clear that the United Nations, the United States and the European Union act immediately to halt the massacre and urgently require the withdrawal of Iraqi troops from around Camp Ashraf. That the United States immediately intervenes and transfers the wounded to the United States military hospital for urgent treatment. That the United States and the United Nations take control over the safety and security of the camp, and that the United Nations sets up a permanent monitoring team in Camp Ashraf to prevent breaches of residents' rights, given that when the coalition forces left Iraq to Mr. al-Maliki and the government, the people were under protected person status as defined under the 4th Geneva Convention. And it was the promise of the Iraqi government at that time that they would continue that protection. That promise has been totally reneged upon, and I find that totally unacceptable. My thoughts particularly lie with the injured. And we know that food supplies, water supplies, but particularly medical supplies, haven't been allowed into Camp Ashraf on sizable occasions over the last few months, but particularly now when so many have been injured as a result of Iraqi forces' actions. So I want, from a humanitarian perspective, those people to receive the treatment that you would give to anyone in this situation who was hurt and sick and injured. But I also note that Mrs. Rajavi, who is the leader in the Iranian movement in exile, has made a statement too, and she makes demands which I fully support. My message to the Ashraf residents is that you are a beacon of freedom. And we have to do our job, who are in the Free West, to ensure that your freedom is retained. Because if your freedoms are snuffed out, then that affects every one of us in the West and in other nations.
It's very sad that I'm having to talk again about the problems at Camp Ashraf, here in the heart of democracy and human rights at the Council of Europe in Strasbourg. But sadly, once again, innocent people are being gunned down and treated with such inhumanity that it beggars belief. In a week when we've talked about the way in which governments have treated their citizens, in whether it's in Tunisia, Egypt, in Syria, in Algeria and in Libya, and defending them and saying more has to be done, we're totally ignoring the consequences of our own actions to those Iranian citizens in Camp Ashraf. This centre of human rights, if it means anything, has to defend human rights failings wherever they are. We're also asking for the doors of the camp. If there's nothing to hide, well, let the world community in. Let the United Nations, international journalists, lawyers and parliamentarians from several countries visit the camp, talk to the people themselves and make their own external views known. Setting up of an international fact-finding mission is the least that can be done in the question of the assault on Mekelles and the lifting of the inhuman blockade that's been there for 28 months. This is nothing short of psychological torture for many of these people, having the loudspeakers, the lights and what have you going on day and night. Let's, as an international community, do something positive and quickly.
I'm Michael Connaughton, a member of the UK Parliamentary Delegation to the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe. And I think all of Europe is deeply shocked by seeing the troops of Iraq attacking innocent people in a camp. We do not expect Maliki's government to be using troops funded by the UN to attack innocent people because of some alliance he has with the very, very dubious Iranian regime. So that's why I signed it. I think all the people here are shocked at what happened in Camp Ashraf. Well, the most important thing is that they open the camp to UN observers. I think a UN observer team should be stationed in the camp. I think that would allow people to see that the no more atrocities take place. And it's most important that people see what is going on in the camp and also are able to look out from the camp to make sure that the Iraqi government does not perpetrate any more atrocities. We have to say to Maliki, and this terrorist activity on his part, state terrorism, must end now.
I'm head of Finnish delegation, and I'm very happy that so many members of Council of Europe signed this declaration, and I hope that United Nations do everything of this issue, and also United States. So I hope that we protect these people there. Thank you.